Definitely be supporting from across the ditch anyway.
Sweet. And anyway, right now it is going to be Blood Orange versus We're Not L30. This is the Grinders bracket. This week, just in case you weren't impressed with this, you may just be impressed with Masters coming back next week as we do alternate casting the Masters and the Grinders. And each of the lands are separate. So we are going to jump straight into Champion Select right here and now. There's Blood Orange. There's WNL30. Mr. We're Not. Apparently, L30 all the way. Anyway, insta banning out a Mumu. Maybe BO just had a little bit of trouble. Yes, I will be calling them BO for the rest of the game. That's just how it rolls. They gave the acronym. That's how it works. But yeah, they're not going to be dealing with the Mumu. They did just have a 65-minute game, which is really tough to deal with. You do not want to go through that.
Not many 65-minute games. That is a marathon, that's for sure.
Yeah, apparently there were a couple of throws in it, so they've got to be pretty tired. I did give them a 5-minute break just to be friendly, because we want fresh players. We don't want people to drop off just because of their mechanics.
And the Malphite ban.
It looks like it's going to be pretty standard.
They might have heard something about what happened in the last game, maybe. But Tarek, Blitzcrank, Amumu, Malphite, all pretty standard bans coming out here from both We're Not Level 30 and Team Blood Orange. I'm going to just call them Orange, I think. I don't know if I don't know if I can call them Team BO.
Okay, I'm gonna change the acronym. It just doesn't work quite well, does it?
What about BOR? I don't know. It needs to. What about TBO? Can we do that? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Apologize for this change in the stream. There we go. It is
Blood.
back. Just a moment.
Team Blood.
There we go. I'm gonna call them Team Org. Orange for short. There we go. Team Org. That works.
Team
it's beautiful.
Orange.
Oh, XC Matty wants to be called Bloods. Better. I'm sorry, I can't put that on the stream UI. You gotta make a better acronym for me, man. Better acronym than BO. Yeah. We'll be forever known as the BO.
So Amumu, Malphite, Shen banning out three pretty solid top lane / jungle players there on the side of Org, and Tarek, Blitzcrank, Caitlyn coming out for We're Not Level 30, focusing on that bot lane. And the first pickup going to be a Soraka. Interesting first pick there from Org. I mean, Soraka, not a very highly contested pick, so interesting to see her picked up first.
I would expect a Lulu or a Leon. There it is, Strockboy going in for the Leona. They just have so many opportunities. They've got a lot of aggression potential, and especially against a Soraka. I mean, Soraka, she is deceptively tanky, but she isn't that strong. You don't want to get Starcall from her for quite a while in the game. You want to focus on getting those heals, getting those infusers down, and that could work out if they got a Graves. Potentially, they could outpush the enemy team. And there's Giant Muscles picking up the Sejuani. I'm looking forward to this game. I have not seen
Sej. When she's played by someone who is skilled playing her, she is an absolute terror. She is possibly, in my opinion, one of the scariest junglers in the game. She is so hard to get away from. I am yet to see her played to a level apart from when I watched. I've only seen one professional play Sejuani, and that was a pretty interesting game, but not something you see very often. And I'm yet to see, like I said, yet to see her in a tournament actually bring the pain. But with possibly the Yorick. Okay, three very unusual pickups here for Team Blood Orange. We've got Deluxe Leona, more standard picks there on the side of We're Not Level 30, and we've got the Rammus moused over there by Demubster.
Just maybe haven't seen Rammus play for a while. This is going to be a fun game, seeing all these champions that people haven't pulled out for a very long time. Yorick, he's still used a decent amount. He's got good range, he's got good damage output, he tanks up quite well, and he can stay protected and aggressive in his lane. He's got that option. I like the Sejuani pick. Sejuani has a lot of utility to her that a lot of people just don't seem to catch up on. She's got a dash in, she can chase. It's just like a Gragas, or I don't know, it's just as effective as a jump. I mean, it's not as effective as the initiate from a Jax maybe, but she's also, I mean, that glacial prison coming out with her ultimate, that's insane. It's a crazy initiate tool. It does so well, and it's good for setting up a lot of combination that go with AoE. It's great for setting up, for example, a Crow Storm, but you wouldn't tend to see that in a tournament match. We'll see if it happens though. There we go. We do see an Annie coming out. That could be a lot of ability power damage. Burst out at the beginning of a fight. A lot of stun potential. Glacial Prism into a Tibbers AoE stun. That would be wicked to see. And again, they've got potential. I don't understand why Sejuani isn't as flaming. She can't chase as effectively. She needs that move speed, and she doesn't output as much damage. But she locks down targets just like a Zac. But I mean, Zac does have a lot more mobility to him. I guess that may just be why.
I'm going to call it right now and say that Team Blood Orange, I have a feeling this combo is all about protect the Ezreal. You know, Soraka, not one we usually see, but one that is sort of famous for the amount of healing she can put out. She does a huge amount of healing early, mid, late game. Sejuani, like we've been talking about, huge amount of utility, stuns, slows, snares, the whole shoot match. And that the Yorick, obviously, with the ulti, going to be able to ghost Ezreal as well, Annie for the stuns. I really feel like that is their sort of their plan in this matchup. Not something I was sort of thinking about, but now looking at the combination, I really do feel Demon Lips is probably going to keep that Ezreal, and you know, something that this combo does really well is going to be keeping him alive. So it's going to be up to Team Wen or level 30 to actually get in there and sort of put some hurt on that Ezreal.
Most definitely, and I think we're sort of seeing the same thing happening as we did last game. A little bit less on the range poke that was coming out from Paul Bryan, but just looking at it, I think if Org get closer, sorry, Blood Orange, if they get close enough to L30, they're dead. There's a lot of CC, and I feel like if they get close to L30 can keep them in place long enough to get off enough AoE from Lux and let a perfect bullet time come out from from the ADC as well, from that Misfortune. That'd be nuts! But they have to get up close and personal, because they don't have too many initiates. They've got a little bit of speed on Rammus, but people see where he's going. He's just fast, that's all. Same with the Udyr. And the timer has gone down, so actually it is a lane Udyr. Check out those summoner spells. No sneaky little teleport's going to go down here, but we are seeing the cleanse coming out from Ezreal. And surprisingly, Lux may just... no, she's not going to be going in that support role. That is going to be a Leona, but she's picked herself up a Clairvoyance. So they may just be looking for an invade at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, not something you see often, although not a skill that's not favoured by a lot of mid laners and supports. Something that's been said by a lot of sort of pro support and pro mid lane players is that they'd really like to see some extra utility added to that Clairvoyance, something like a GP5 tick or something to that effect, because the Clairvoyance is a huge skill to have in this game. It gives you so much vision, but generally doesn't give as much utility as a lot of the other summoners. So not something that is rarely seen, but something that is not as popular as a lot of the other picks. Having said that, looking at across the board at L30, you've got the Udyr. Those bear stances are insane. Leona has so much CC. She's got the Solar Flare into the Zenith Blade, and she can just lock targets down for days. Shro's also got his Prism as well. Mubster's got the Taunt, and MF, well, she's going to be sitting at the back, playing AD caster and putting bullet time out across the whole team. But not having the utility of you know, something like a cleanse or a barrier or something like that for Lux, not going to be a huge deal. The Clairvoyance, you know, in the team comp that they do have, may make a more interesting fight across the board.
Yeah, I gotta say, if Lux lands a light binding, especially in the early game, if they go for that invade, which it is sort of suggesting, maybe not, maybe they're just going for a very protective team comp at the beginning of the game, trying to tank up to the late, because they work really well in the late game, but they have that initiate issue where they're quite distanced and they're involved in getting up close and personal with people. They don't have too many initiates except for speed, pure speed, and that Zenith Blade coming in from Leona, which displaces her quite a lot. We saw a lot of Leonas coming out from the Sidus tournament before for ESL, and they just died all the time. They were like 5 games with Leona in it, and she did not have a fun tournament whatsoever. But yeah, as soon as that light binding comes out from Lux, nobody is getting away. No one. That's
Yeah, well,
their
the amount
initiate trick.
absolutely, and the amount of utility, like we said, at level 1, L30 really has the team fight. You're going to have the bear stance. If they actually don't buy skills and look sort of when they make that invade, sort of wait till they buy skills, they can effectively have either the Zenith Blade or the Q stun out of Leona. They've got the bear stance out of Udyr. They've got out of Rammus. They've got the taunt. They've got the light binding out of Lux, and out of MF they've got they're probably should probably go for double up straight away. Something that nearly every MF. My goodness, King Rammus. Oh, I haven't seen that since beta, but
I'm liking
very,
this.
yeah, very rare skin. Probably the reason to play Rammus, to be honest. Probably I'd main him if I was able to get my King Rammus skin back. But what can you do? So yeah, what we said is that L30 really does have that early fight advantage. Yorick, not very strong early game. Soraka, not very strong early game. Annie, definitely not strong early game. Until she can get a couple of skills and build up those stuns, she really isn't that early game threat until she's about level 3, level 5, in that sort of span there. That's when she really starts to come into her own. And I really think that that clairvoyance out of the WO Shro is really going to mean a lot of interesting things here in this early game.
Can I just say I'm glad that that all this misfortune with your storm befell you. It's amazing to have you back here, dude.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Was very much looking forward to being able to be with you guys tonight, and hopefully most weeks I'd like to be here. Me and the Snowy Rock Show on a Monday night, but with a couple of time differences here. I'm obviously over the ditch in Australia. With a couple of time differences does make it a little bit hard, but looking forward to being here most days.
Just move here.
As we see a DC come out from Goldfish 15 and no pause on the team of W and L. They're not game. He is back. He has bought. It was quite a quick disconnect apparently, but sort of puts him a fair way behind. And I don't know if that's going to allow them to get that early game a pressure off that they really went for. WO Shro did use the clairvoyance off the bat to see what items were bought, so they know what they're looking at coming into lane. And boots 3 across the board for all the carries, and looking at dagger and 5 and a couple of wards and a Meki pendant there for Soraka. So they know what they've got, and I actually really like the pickup by MF. I really am a fan of either the early game Dorans in a lifesteal build or the early game dagger. And as we see another clairvoyance there, she sees giant muscles on that blue buff, knows that's where Sejuani will be first up, and not making any use of the knowledge of that aggression actually, which is interesting to me. But going to take Wolves for Demubster and move on to this blue buff here. He's getting a fair bit of help. Probably will go smiteless here, and may see a bit of aggression onto the red.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing Sage going smiteless, and that is it. She does pop that smite on the blue buff, so maybe a little bit slow for the jungle for her. Let's see how she does get into lanes. I'm very interested to see how her ganks play out. She does have great initiate tools, but she really needs that tankiness coming into late game. I like their composition entirely because Giant Muscles is going to be like, hey, here I am. It's the focus on the Sejuani giant pig in your face. So as long as they manage to get that attention that they're really seeking, ooh, Goldfish going straight up Tiger stance, really putting the moves on Mighty L early in the game. He does have range, but he's already taken a beating.
Yeah, that Tiger stance in the early game is so strong. The on hit that applies with that Tiger stance, dealing around about 110 damage. 120 damage at the moment, just on the tick over the 2 seconds afterwards. As Mubster, oh, beautiful between those two lines of creeps there, and that'll be a flash out of the Mighty L. The ignite on, and Goldfish looking for the kill, not going to get it, and Mighty L so low there, but has done well. He will have to back off. No, he's going to stay in lane. Don't know if I'm a fan of that decision, to be honest. The speed with which Mubster was able to get in there makes me really nervous for Mighty L. He goes looking for wraiths and possibly some aggression back towards the mid lane. As we see in the bot side, we're seeing a fair bit of aggression here from ORG, Blood Orange, onto L30. Ezreal and that Soraka having forced Leona and MF up under that turret. Now, the only thing picking Leona into the Soraka is that Leona is an super aggressive champion. She needs to be out the front making plays, and with the Soraka, it's really hard to do that because she just has so much sustain that eventually you get low enough, you're not able to engage.
She's going to have to lock out that shield of Daybreak before she initiates.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Leona has 1 point in each skill at the moment. So she's got that Shield of Daybreak, she's got Eclipse, and she's got Zenith Blade as well. Oh, great work there from Team Blood Orange, and a fantastic ward there near Dragon, spotting out the aggression from Demubster. He's standing on another ward now. He doesn't know it, but he's going to back off anyway, get a bit of lane tax, a little bit of XP there. And Goldfish being forced back up in the top lane, having not used many of his pots just yet. He's got 2 left, and just rolling a couple, and Yorick having to has come back, and that early buy out of Yorick really making a difference. He's got a sight ward, couple of fairy charms, and a few extra pots, and Goldfish is going to have to back in the next little while.
So I now see how Mubster is trying to play those ganks, and it's actually, as you said, completely denied by Blood Orange already. They are getting that ward out in this point in the river here. You can see it; it's just about to go down. But that allows them to catch Rammus while he's speeding, and that's where you want to catch him. If you don't catch him before that, he's going to come out of nowhere very, very fast, as if it was a gap closer initiate. And they're going to jump on Mighty L again. Here's where it just might work. Goldfish level 3 does manage to have the stun available with the bear stance. Mighty L has nothing going for him to get away. There's that first blood going to Mr. Goldfish, 15 in the top lane. Gonna help him out so much. Just a note in that lane to get that initial gank off in the early game. They should have put that level 2 into bear stance for Goldfish, but he went for the aggression with tiger stance into Phoenix, which was an interesting play. And it shows you that he's going to be really aggressive throughout the entire game and try to clear those lanes and get that turret down. He doesn't really care about the engages from Mighty L. He knows he's got tankiness with his oh, anyway, we're going to see a gank coming in here. Giant Muscle going to be jumping onto Wistelibur. If I did slightly get that right, and it's going to be a lot of slows hitting off on him. That flash was burnt out, and there's the flash auto attack out from Demon Lives. Making plays, making it works, sitting 1-for-1 now. But again, up in that top lane, very aggressive Udyr, not going for that bear stance, sitting on Turtle and trying to tank up and be very aggressive in your face with Mighty L.
Yeah, and we're seeing a Ninja Tabby pick up from Udyr, who is at the moment 2 levels ahead of the Mighty L, and that's really going to play into his hands. Mighty L will pick up a level here with all the creeps under the turret, but Udyr obviously looking to be that late game threat, and the split push out of Udyr is actually ridiculous. He's such a pain in the late games when you play against a lane deer. He's got that Ninja Tabby, he's got that longsword, so he's going to be looking for a bit more aggression. And I just want to call out Demubster. My goodness, he has, in both these ganks so far, basically come in between the creeps that are in the middle and a lane of creeps coming in at that time, and he misses them on the roll just so perfectly. And I mean, the amount of distance you've got between the Powerball going on and actually hitting the Mighty L or whoever the gank is, and actually hitting a creep is so minimal. But he's been able to get himself through and actually pick up those snares a couple of times now. So doing really, really well.
Sorry about that. Just answering a question in the chat. We will try to get up all of those low resolutions for people to watch at as soon as we can, as soon as we manage to get to partnership from somewhere. I'm working on it.
Absolutely. So make sure you click follow, and if you have friends, get them on here. Post the link on Facebook, tweet it, whatever it might be. Get them to follow as well, and we can get more resolutions on the stream for you guys as well.
Funny story, actually. We're building. I'm working with a community helper on Twitch called Darker. Amazing guy, and he does a lot of things for the community. And we're building little tournaments for his community fans and stuff for free, and just putting on a lot of shows and having fun. So we've got a couple of links through that we may be able to get partnership and then help CoG LoL Esports and NZ Esports really get out there. But it's going to be a lot of work, and we are doing this all out of pocket. So yeah, we're hoping. Here's hoping. I don't like soliciting for views and crap, but sometimes you have to get ahead. It
Well,
just makes me
Theo,
cringe. It makes me cringe.
I've got no worries soliciting for views, so you know, throw some likes out there, guys.
No.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
He's throwing out the likes. Okay, I'm all good. 1-1 already in the game, and the gold disparity is nothing. It's just sitting 500 gold there. Barely at all. You know, they're doing fine in every single lane. The pushing is going back and forward. Their CS is looking pretty even. 8 minutes in the game, and it is looking a little bit low. This is the Grinders League. They're sitting at about 50 for each lane. You can get up to about that 80 mark. And comes Great Muscle with the Glacial Fortress. Prison, rather, and they are going to jump on with Stilba with that ultimate coming out from Israel. The Tree Shot Barrage doing its work, and Great Muscle's actually flashing into the kill. Israel manages to pick it up. Great Muscle's tanking that turret damage with the flash. It worked out in kind, and Demon Lips made the best of it. Perfect plays. Team coming out on top. There are the ganks coming up from Sejuani. That's how you gank with Sejuani.
And I'm actually very interested they didn't go for that final kill there onto Stocky Boy with that Leona. You know, Giant Muscles pulled out, still on about 800 health. You know, you had Ameno Poff, I guess. I don't know.
But what was that? Ameno Poff?
You had Soraka there, almost full health. I mean, she doesn't have a huge amount, but 800 is definitely enough to tank that turret. And the amount of damage that Demon Lips is putting out, he's already at 128 damage, and he's got in the kitty a nice little 1,000 and almost 1,100 gold. So that when he goes back, we see Mubster coming in. Great work there, and wow, Demon Lips getting that arcane shift over the roll. I can't believe that. That was a fantastic shift there by Demon Lips to jump out over the top on on that Mubster. I can't believe it. And big shout out to Zandora, who apparently
And big shout out to Rocky.
I am the homeboy of, apparently. And we've got Demon Lips throwing the ulti down, just clearing that one out. He's got about 1,100 gold, and we'll go back to base very shortly. Possibly looking for that early BF. I usually would think the BF sword into the Phantom Dancer on EZ, but builds across the AD sort of scene have changed quite a lot in Season 3, so interesting to see what he'll go for. But Demon Lips at the moment doing really well, just when we're looking across the board in CS, 72 to 69, fairly even there in the bot lane. Annie against that Lux in the mid lane, up about 15 CS, sorry, 10 CS there. Yorick in the top lane, losing out to Goldfish by only a couple of CS, and in the jungle, obviously, Giant Muscles and Demubster fairly even there as well. So not much gold disparity at the moment. Actually, we're back to under 100 gold, the difference, and looking like, wow, Hobo Mama Corndog there on Annie. Hobo Mama Corndog wanting to get some aggression onto Shro with the Lux, and it's looking like there may be a Sejuani gank coming in from the side. She's having to think about it, not too sure. She's having to play around there, and possibly will go for a bit of aggression here. She is coming in, and this is going to be a gank onto Shro. She misses the stun, and bit of turret aggro there, and we'll just pull out. Hobo Mama Corndog just going to farm this one out and probably go back. She's got her catalyst that protect her already. About 1,400 gold there in the kitty. She's probably going to go back and either look at getting herself possibly a bit of MR, the same way Lux has done in the Chalice of Harmony, or go straight into that Rod of Ages. And as we see in the bot lane, Misfortune going to tie up that CS with this wave, so managing to equal herself out there with the EZ. Picking up a little bit of different builds here. We've got a double Dorans onto the MF and a Vamp Scepter there as well to the BF Sword Vamp Scepter on Ezreal, as we see Demubster running in this top lane. Again, he's going to be doing work onto the Mighty L. Mighty L pops his ultimate, throws on the Ignite as well. Mubster pops his ult. There's a whole lot of damage going down there. And wow, Goldfish getting on very, very minimal health there. The Mighty L doing quite well in a 2v1 gank.
Yep, nonetheless he will go down, but that was a pretty impressive gank. Just to know, it is such a big back and forth between both of these teams, and it's those 3v2s that get them out. They really need to. But Demon Lives, as we noticed, he did have that cleanse at the beginning of the game that basically denies Stockboy anything. As soon as that Shield of Daybreak goes down from that Zenith Blade, he can just do that, just jump out with his Arcane Shift, and he is pretty much sweet. 2-4 in the game, but their mechanics are so similar, and their lanes are very equal in their styles and in their pushing, and it's all about getting those jungle ganks in, and it's all about keeping sights on your lanes. It is 2 kills up on L30 right now though, but they're looking to need a couple of wards down in that bot lane. No turrets going down just yet. Let me just check the damage on these things. Who is pushing harder than who at the moment? Right now it seems just a little bit in favor of L30 with their pushing. Especially in the bot lane, they might be able to take it down first. That'll be a little chunk of gold. It's hard to say if they're going to pick up from a couple of chunks of gold, because they both have teams that have someone up the front taking all of that damage, or 2 coming up at the front taking all of that damage. Come to think of it, they've both got great engages and great disengages. To be honest, the ADC coming out from L30 is quite vulnerable. No escapes coming out from her, as opposed to the cleanse and the Arcane Shift coming out from Demon Lips, as well as the Flash. So he's looking to be very protected. Maybe that's going to be the difference coming in team fights. He's able to be protected a bit more effectively, and Mighty L does have his ultimate on him as well. He's going to get aggressive up against Goldfish, who is just destroying him in that top lane with direct confrontations with the Tiger Stance. It's insane.
Absolutely, and one thing to notice, at the moment, MF, I'm unable to pronounce your name. I don't know if you're Y Taliba or whatever it might be. MF able to actually catch herself up. She's got that BF sword as well at the moment. She's got the Vamp Scepter. She is down to Berserker's Greaves, but has double Dorans. She has the Power Spike at the moment in her favour. She's got 164 damage to 145 on EZ, and is able to actually stack that damage up a fair bit faster than Ezreal is with those double, there you go, those shots onto Ezreal, those double ups, doing a fair chunk there. Ezreal having to back off.
Hey, we got a confirmation from Jimmy Boy. It is Y Taliba, or
Y Taliba.
I'm thinking it's Y Taliba. Wonder where that came from. Got to do a little podcast of that, of origins of LoL names. It'll be very, very strange.
Who knows? Rockmar random name generator. Giant Muscles onto Goldfish here in the top lane, and he's going to be fine. He's not going to get aggressed on there by Mighty L, but Shro has come up, and she wants a piece of the action. And we see Mighty L wanting to get in a bear stance flare from Goldfish, and he's going to actually go aggressive right here, but Lux is quite close for the ulti, and they both back off. Lux keeping a little bit of vision there onto Giant Muscles. And it's looking like Ramus, the mobster, also Hobo Mama Corndog can see him. She's going to back out. She doesn't want to get caught the wrong side of the jungle. Yet to see Annie sort of making any huge plays. She's had her tibbers up this whole game as far as I am aware, and has yet to sort of pop that tibbers and say, I found the bear. So see how we go into this late game, and Demon Lips doing really well at the moment. Bit of aggression under that tower, and Y Taliba starting to bring this CS back in favour of Team We're Not Level 30.
And why would anyone play Siege, Mr. Glordrick? Well, I'll give you 2 reasons. 2 reasons, come to think of it. And some pretty decent ganks in the bot lane. That's why. Dread initiates an amazing teamfight potential, but yes, a little bit on the weak side and a little bit vulnerable when diving into targets. So they really need to be backed up very effectively. A little bit like Zax, to be honest. But Zax have a little bit better in terms of their lockdown for champion and team control. But yeah, it seems to be working out decently enough for Blood Orange. Maybe that is going to be their fallback. But as long as Sejuani keeps that Ezreal alive, they've got themselves a team fight. They've got themselves a game. Out goes that Crystal Prism. White Deliver will be the focus of the fight. He's going to try and flash over the wall. He makes it, but that AoE, sorry, that damage over time is going to take him down. Oh no, in comes the rest of L30 getting into the team fight. Stockboy getting in there with a Zenith Blade. They're going to try and focus down Rosha at the moment. The rest of Blood Orange not quite coming back up to get the backup, and they will be able to walk out of there. Rosha
and
is so close to going down.
Glordrek, that is why Sejuani. Okay, buddy. That gank out of Sejuani, absolutely fantastic. Coming in there, absolutely doing work. Gets in there, Northern Winds popped, Glacial Prism popped, and gets the kill onto White Taliba, almost picking up Stocky Boy as well. Doing really, really well there. getting a fair bit of gold for her 80 carry, sitting on 1800 gold for the Ezreal at the moment, and Ezreal out on about 500 gold ahead of his opposite number now.
Yeah, definitely, and there's your downside to Sejuani. Got to flash out of that engage. She does have a little bit of a charge, but it is denied by minions as well, so it's very hard to get off. But yeah, just quite a vulnerable champion, a little bit like a Leona, but of course not playing in that support role. So it's difficult to say. I don't know, what do you think about support Sejuani? Maybe that's going to come out one day.
Well, I'm going to throw this out there because call me crazy, but Maokai support.
Oh yeah.
I was playing a couple of ranked games with some friends the other day, and Maokai support came out. I have to say I was impressed. I was very, very impressed. So, you know, a whole lot of vision coming out of those saprolings. Yeah. Got the snare on, got the AoE damage reduction ulti. Quite impressive, to be honest. So, I'm going to call it Maokai support. It's coming. New meta.
Yeah, I mean a little bit more consistent than something like a Lux support, which needs that range, needs that vision to get off the light binding. He can just jump right in there, CC all the days. You know, I'm waiting for a Zac support, to be honest. Nah, that's not going to happen.
Anything with a clickable snare, I'm a huge fan of.
Any support.
You know,
yep.
Rise. I am a massive fan of the Prism on Rise. As we see Demubster getting jumped on in the top lane. Mighty L, Giant Muscles, here we go, Giant Muscles going in for this. Ulti is off cooldown, but she won't aggress. And Mubster getting out quite handily there, only had 100 mana left, so very lucky to actually get himself out.
And more than short, go check out the Team Forge to try and find teammates. If your mates aren't keen, you might just be able to find a team there. We do have a bunch of people looking to join competitive teams and to just get better as individual players and as team players as well. So Team Forge, Facebook, look it up. I'll see if I can get you a link later in the tournament, later in the points rounds rather. 3-4, and it looks like Blood Orange are coming back with that Siege, with all the plays being made by Sejuani. That is their key player right now, getting those ganks off. And I know this is not a LAN, it's just online at the moment, Jimmy Boy, but it is part of a series which has 8 onlines for each division. So check those out as they come into Auckland and Wellington. Unfortunately, we can't do the South Island there. We are going to work on doing that at the end of the year. I might try and do something for the South Island in the middle and the end of the year. But no guarantees. Again, we may just stick with those online points rounds and online formats. It's
oh my god! Sorry to interrupt you there, Snowy. Great snare there coming up from Shro. Hobo Mama Corndog gonna get smashed there by White Taliba, and Leona gonna say, "Yeah, I don't need to help out." Sejuani's gonna be running to the middle. She might get caught out as well. A great snare onto her by Shro, but not enough follow-up there. They will go Dragon. Great aggression there coming out from WNL30. And this is going to be a free Dragon and a easy push into the bot lane as well for We're Not Level 30. And up in the top lane, Goldfish just going to be able to farm this one out. Yorick's had to come down to try and help out, but unfortunately it was a bit too late. So it's a free Dragon and possibly a free top lane as well. Fair bit of damage is going to go onto that turret with Udyr having that phage almost into that Sheen already.
Gold advantage just that little bit in favor of L30 right now. But you can see Blood Orange, they've been doing great in their lanes, and they've actually got a decent amount of CS over L30, and that has given them that little, not that big a difference in gold advantage. 2 kills and a Dragon should make the difference, and no turrets going down here at all just yet, so there's a lot of opportunity for gold spikes coming out into the mid game, and we'll see how that changes everything up. A Bloodthirster coming out from both of the ADCs, and it looks like it's going to be focusing on a Trinity Force for the Israel.
Yeah, Triforce EZ, not something we've seen recently. Could also be going into that Iceborne Gauntlet, but with the amount of CC coming out from his team, not something that he's probably going to need. Something that we do sort of see commonly in the new season on this Ezreal builds, but looking like Demubster's going to want another bit of aggression here in the mid lane onto Hobo Mama Corndog, and yeah, they're going to group up for it. We've got Leona's ultimate up. She does have the Solar Flare, and there's no vision of them yet. She is going to Solar Flare in. Demubster going to get that as well, and this is going to be a great bit of aggression here. Gets the stun onto Hobo Mama Corndog, and that's going to be Sejuani from the back lines. And a whole lot of damage coming in there, but Shro's on the way in. There's going to be a huge amount of damage there coming out from White Taliba with that bullet time. Didn't get the whole duration onto Giant Muscles, but doing well. Lux does have her snare up, and She's going to laser, and that'll be it. Giant Muscles picked up there by Shro. Great work there. Just got her Rod of Ages, and so she's got that power spike from that little bit of extra AP, and done really well there. Whiteliva now firsting off the Mighty L. She's going to go down, and that's 300 gold there onto the Mighty L, who's needing it at the moment. He's a fair way behind his opposite number. Actually, sorry, he's brought that back to 150 gold with the death there. The teams at the moment are only about 1,500 gold apart, so doing really well. Very evenly matched teams, and I have a feeling that this might be another marathon one for Blood Orange.
Dr. Octagonopus is going to go down. Oh, actually getting... Oh, no, that last mystic shot landing the kill. Perfectly placed. Very, very dead, Dr. Octagonopus. Wow. 5-7 in the game, and again, Blood Orange doing decently to come back from this. I was surprised that the Glacial Prison didn't go out first instead of the Flash Initiate from Giant Muscles, but I guess, you know, Dr. Mugster, he was dead already at that point. It was difficult for him to come in. Yeah, I see them getting I see them making those initiates, but I think the Antagonist is coming a lot more out from L30, despite the fact that they've got less of an initiate to go on. And of course they have a little bit of a gold lead. It keeps on getting taken down by Orb, but then gained back just that little bit. Those dragon objectives, those kills, and those turrets are making a difference.
My goodness, Demubster's flying up the lane as well. Sorry to interrupt you there, Theo. Okay. Goldfish and Demubster doesn't even need the help. Wow, Goldfish just going toe-to-toe with the Mighty L, and he will pick it up. That Trinity Force completed on him does so much damage, and there we go. The Solar Flare coming out on Giant Muscles. He will dodge away, and they will back that one off. But that's leaving Lux for a whole lot of farm in the middle. No, she's going to follow her opposite number, Hobo Mama Corn Dog. No, she's not. She's going to farm that mid lane. Hobo Mama Corn Dog, and she's going to bring that one back in the mid lane and farm that one out, push it onto this turret, and let the aggression come back her way. Something that at the moment We're Not Level 30 is doing really well, putting a whole lot of aggression in one lane and letting both Whiteliva and WO Shro push the other lanes. That'll be a turret for We're Not Level 30, the first of the game in that bot lane, picked up there by the MF. She is going to get away. It's too fast there with that strut, giving her a whole lot of movement speed, and even Ezreal with his arcane shift not going to be able to catch that one.
We're not L30, just a lies of a team name, complete lies. Complete lies. But yeah, maybe we should get a Hobo Mama interview going someday. Anyway, Demon Lips looks like he's pulling up. That's the advantage of an Israel, having all of those abilities to burst down enemy champions and that displacement with the arcane shift. He's got the ability to 1v1 a lot of ADCs as long as he stays equal or ahead of them. And he's got that CS advantage. He's got the kill advantage for 0, so he's kind of their gold sink. That may be where Blood Orange really drops off. He's the one getting all the kills. And is that where all of your gold wants to be? I mean, you like that in your ADC as long as everyone else can tank up and lock the enemies down and protect the ADC, it's okay. But if that ADC goes down, they've got no more damage to come back up with them. They're just farming and trying to stay in the game through pure farm and assists.
Well, something that I want to mention, Ezreal's going to be able to 1v1 as we see him do so. Whiteliva in the bot lane, throwing his ulti down. Demon Lips still got his. He's going to pick up Whiteliva there. And the reason for that, even though he sat in the middle of that bullet time for much too long, the Iceborne Gauntlet giving him so much armor. 70 armor and the extra mana there. Giant Muscles picked up by Goldfish and Demubster. Wow, they're all in behind enemy lines. Stocky Boy missing his ultimate there for the Solar Flare, but WR Shro will come in and pick up Hobo Mama Corn Dog, and it's going to be all she wrote there for Annie. And Goldfish doing a great job there to put a whole lot of aggression onto the Mighty L, force him out the back of the fight, and then get out with his life and a blue buff as well.
L30 are really punishing this Sejuani pick. Oh well, they do catch off. Again, that's the difficulty with Sejuani. She's in the middle of everything, and it's difficult for her to escape once she's in there.
Yeah, she's like she's very similar to a Maokai jungle in that respect, in that she's all about the engage. If you counter engage on a Maokai or a Sejuani, it's all downhill from there because they can't get out. Without a flash, for Sejuani, which has just come back off cooldown, she's not able to get away from those counter ganks. So something that's very hard to get used to. And something that can be punished by an opposing team if they recognise
a little bit more useful. He gets that sapling off. He has a couple of disengages, and he's got himself a lot more tankiness than a Sejuani can ever have. So that's why Maokai is just that little bit more viable. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I do like the Sejuani. I mean, the Glacial Prison is such a strong move.
Yeah.
But I usually like to see it comboed with something like a Jarvan in the top lane. Just because it makes those Cataclysms so much easier to land, and the Cataclysm is a much stronger spell. I also like to see it on a team with things like the MF into the Bullet Time or into the Amumu, just because those other AoE ultis that are generally harder to land, Sejuani makes those work. Now, being that they don't have very many AoE ultis in this comp, it's a bit of a strange pick, but has been doing work in the early game, and we see we're not level 30 picking up another uncontested dragon. They're doing really well, and Wide Taliba chasing Demon Lips down the bottom there, but just going to back off. They don't want any piece of this fight.
2-0 dragon kills.
And they're going to start playing the game of creeps and turrets, which is what they need to do. They really need to notice that at the moment they're not that far ahead, and they really need to start converting this lead into a turret's lead as well. Demon Lips goes toe to toe with White Taliba there. He's got a huge minion wave, and they do work for him as well, and really help him put the aggression onto that bot lane. As White Taliba moves up, it's going to be a 5v3 in this mid lane, and Ezreal's not going to be able to get there, and he doesn't have his ulti up, so this mid turret will go down, and they're just going to back out. We don't see anything happening there from Blood Orange, and they know that Sejuani's in the top lane. They just saw her there, so they're going to put more aggression onto this, and Demubster taking the turret, and he's happy to do so. Bullet Time coming out across the whole team. The Modio will go down, and then it's Soraka going down straight after that. We've got Stocky Boy in there taking the turret, done really well to flash out of that, and missed the Ezreal ulti. Double kill there for White Taliba, being chased down by the Ghost and by Demon Lips. Goldfish going to aggress back in on that. WR Shro, he's going to get the stun there. Goldfish getting the ace, and they will get this turret. Still 4 members up, and the only person going down there was Demubster, who from the very beginning knew he was going to go down. Went defensive ball kill as soon as they ran in. Hit Tremors, so the turret was on him, and the rest of his team could just go nuts. Stocky Boy doing great, flashing out there with less than 100 health, and we will see this mid turret and inhibitor go down, and possibly a whole lot of aggression into that top lane. Like they said, they're going to start playing a game of creep waves and turrets. Their creep wave is in that top lane, and they can get that turret down if they choose to, but it looks like they're all a bit too low, and they're just going to back this one off.
Nice and spread out among the members of L30, as well as the fact that they're sitting at almost a 10k gold lead and a 4-1 in turret, so map control looking really nice. But this is just like what happened with UT. They've just got pure brute force, pure tankiness, pure AoE, and they took that team fight really well. Again, as you said at the beginning of that fight, they knew Sejuani was out of the fight, and as Sejuani came into that fight, she changed it around for just a second there. But the damage was all over the place. They couldn't consistently take anyone down, and Israel was quickly picked up by that Lux play. Amazing response from L30 as soon as Sejuani came in, but amazing response from Sejuani. If she had been there, that fight would not have taken place.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, as soon as they saw that Sejuani, they're like, let's go right now. And the ultimates were on song. Demubster, like I said, was sat under that turret and just continued to beat on everyone near him, putting out a huge amount of AoE damage with that Tremors. And the bullet time was fantastic by White Taliba. He was off the side and got it across 4 or 5 members of the entire team, closely followed by the final spark from Shro. Absolutely doing work, and they're going to get aggressive on this top turret. We called it, was the next one to do. They're playing a game of creeps and turrets. Playing a little bit of come find the Ramus, and they're going to get aggressive on this top lane. They know it's a 4v5. They saw Ezreal in the bot lane only moments ago, and they probably will get aggressive on this turret. Demubster's still behind, but White Taliba still back at base actually, so they won't get aggressive here. Just sort of showing their hands, saying, we can and will pressure you whenever we can. A Meadow Poff going insanely low there, and Lux ulti is available. Demubster watching them all back off, and knowing that his team's got this next turret for free. So Goldfish going to go in there and take that one. And Demubster in the bot lane. Going to pop his Tremors, doing great damage there to the turret. And that's another global there for We're Not Level 30. Now the gold lead out to almost 10,000 gold. 4 turrets in the advantage of We're Not Level 30. And 2 dragons as well. So doing really well to hold off this aggression. The Black Cleaver, Phantom Dancer, and Bloodthirster finish there for White Taliba, and on the side of Ezreal Demon Lips, he's got the the Bloodthirster, the Last Whisper, the Iceborne Gauntlet, and just picking up Home Guard boots as well. Fair bit of tankiness coming out of this team on Blood Orange. We've got the Warmogs out for Giant Muscles. We've got, as we said, the Iceborne Gauntlet there on Ezreal. We've got a Giant's Belt also on Yorick, but just so much shred coming out from, we've got the Wit's End on Udyr. We've got the Black Cleaver on Misfortune, and on Rammus we've got that Sunfire Cape, and combo that with a Death Cap Rod of Ages Lux, who at the moment has about 360, 370 ability power. It's just something you don't really want to go up against. She's able to do so much damage with that Final Spark, doing about 750 damage now. And they're going to be happy to fight this one behind turret. White Taliba taking a couple of hits, and the Mubster going to get that taunt onto Demon Lips, and a great bullet time out across the team. And we just had the wish coming in from Soraka. That's going to be one dead Demon Lips, one dead Mighty L. No, not going down. And Giant Muscles going down as well. Oh, sorry. Yes, Mighty L going down. That's his ghost. My apologies. Giant Muscles also insanely low. All ultimates have been used on the side of Blood Orange, and still got Udyr's ultimate. But they're gonna get aggressive on this turret here, and playing, like we said, a game of creeps and turrets. Their top lane pushing in on that turret and getting aggressive on this bottom lane to let the creeps do their thing. They're gonna back this one off and possibly go get that dragon, making it 3 uncontested dragons. There's the ping, and that'll be 3 uncontested dragons, and a whole lot of aggression in on that mid lane. Those super creeps doing work. Giant Muscles having to tank those ones out, and a whole lot of farm there for Hobo Mama Condor, and that'll be another free dragon. And so far, a fantastic game being played on the side of We're Not Level 30.
Definitely. And as I was saying before, you know, Blood Orange, come to think about it, actually, I want to call them Org now. It's a good little thing. It's a good corporate acronym thing. But anyway, they do have a little bit more range over L30. I mean, L30, they do have a little bit of range, especially with Lux and with White Tiber. But yeah, Org have that little bit more range and damage output. And the Mighty Yell, he can soak up a lot of damage, especially putting out his ultimate. It works very, very well. And you saw that at that teamfight just there, where L30 tried to get that initiate on just one of Org, but they didn't realize the rest of them were backing them up so well, and they had the turret there to protect them. So they're getting a little bit overconfident, I feel, L30 are. But I think they're gonna stay back now. They're gonna tank up very well. They've got that Randuin's Omen, so as long as they get up close and personal with Demon Lips, they're gonna be okay. But yeah, it's just about locking down those key targets for Org, and they may just be able to survive this. They can still make those plays, but it's the pure brute force from L30 that's coming in here, and they control the jungle, they control all the lanes at the moment. Not too many wards going out, but they don't really need that. They just own the place. If you get too close to L30 right now, if you turn around and you hit them in a bush, you're instantly dead. They will lock you down very quickly. We talked about that at the beginning of the game. We've got that stun coming out from Udyr, the taunt from Rammus, Stockboy, locking down individual targets all day. Wosho gonna get that brilliant like binding off on the rest of the enemy team, and those engages really make my day. If you turn around the corner, you're not going anywhere. They got you. They got you.
Absolutely, and something to notice here, as I said, We're Not Level 30 are playing a game of creeps and turrets. They're not at any point, they've had this Baron open for about 3 or 4 minutes now, and they have not got aggressive on that. All they've wanted to do, they're doing it now, but all they've done so far is just sort of sit there, bait out the Baron, go back, make sure they secure that inhibitor, and yeah, really making sure that they can't be fought at this Baron, doing a really great job. Ezreal ulti's down, no chance of a steal, and Purple Team getting the slay there. Rammus missing a smite, obviously either chose to or knew that knew that they were going to get it anyway. But the kill there picked up by Goldfish, who's doing a fantastic job. Got that Randuin's, got that Wit's End, got that Triforce. Top lane Udyr, such a terror, and doing really, really well. The man in Muramana picked up by the Mighty L, so when he gets in this fight, he's going to be doing a whole lot of damage. The Goldfish going legendary on Amenopov, and a great, oh my god, great ulti there by MF across the entire team, closely followed by Shro. and they're going to pick up the almost ace there. Ezreal not actually in that team fight. They noticed the 4v5 and they capitalised on that as well. Demubster going to get aggressive now onto Demon Lips and force him out the back of the fight, and this will be a free inhibitor for level 30. I keep forgetting their name. I'm like WNL30. What's that? I'm not sure. And this is probably going to be GG here. The 15,000 gold advantage in favour of we're not level 30 at the moment, and it's just too much. And there's not a whole lot that Blood Orange can do at this stage. White Taliba has come back fantastically in that bot lane. He got dominated early with the Stocky Boy and managed to bring that back. Fantastic game there for WNL30.
See, that is a close game that I can be proud of. That is an interesting case of a game being close, yet so much in favor to another team by pure brute force. It's 7-22 there, but you see Blood Orange still did really well against L30. It was just that team composition, it was just the brute force coming out from L30 that dealt with the rest of Blood Orange, and the fact that they positioned themselves amazingly compared to Blood Orange's range. They baited them into the jungles, they grouped up a lot more effectively, and they took advantage of lanes being abandoned by different champions. Like Sejuani was up at that top lane, they went straight into the mid lane. But they were two extremely close teams, and that's what I like about it. 7-22, yet it's two extremely close teams. It's about the individual champion play and synergy coming into the team fights. I love seeing that instead of it just being individual skill levels, which is easy to see in a developing scene like the New Zealand one, where people don't know how to face up against each other or experience other teams or team games entirely. So definitely an amazing game. I'm liking this. We're going to move on to game number 3 pretty soon. Cade doesn't like cheese, yum yum, versus Unorganized. Unorganized team moved from the Masters bracket down to the Grinders, and we'll see how they fare in the Grinders bracket. It's going to be fun. Most definitely. What do you think about the rest of that game, Rockmar? Do you think I summed it up pretty well?
I think you nailed it. I mean, basically, in lanes, they was so even. The Sejuani ganks early were fantastic. The ganks out of Demubster early were also amazing. The only difference in that entire game was the ability for White Taliba and for WO Shro to sit back and either bullet time or final spark 3, 4, 5 members of the other team. The AoE ulti put down there by White Taliba absolutely shred. Every single time he used that in a team fight, he hit 3 or more targets. Every time WO Shro used Final Spark in a team fight, he either killed a target or hit 2 or more targets. So really, really great mastery of those ultimates there from both WO Shro and White Taliba, and at the end of the day, that's what turned those team fights around. Just a huge amount of damage onto such a large number of targets.
Definitely, and we've already got the first game up to go. There's already a spectator in there, apparently. CoG, what are we doing? Oh, it is CH Ghost. Okay, I gotta kick Ghost out of here. Ghost, leave! Leave, Ghost! CH Ghost, of course, one of my admins. Great guy. He's been getting all the games up and running today. Oh, we are seeing a team with a full matching summoner icon. So I'm pretty afraid. I'm pretty set up right now. We are going to take a short 5-minute recess and get back to you. Game starting at 9:20. Be there soon. I'm Snowy Padre, and this is Rockmar, and you're watching the CoG LoL Esports 2013 season online points rounds number 2. All the brackets and all the results will be posted up later tonight. And this is New Zealand time, so if you are watching from overseas and you want to see a little more international coverage, I'll put on international times and things on the stream and on the announcements as well, and try and keep you up to date. But right now I'm not doing that because I don't know, I don't see us having that much of international coverage. If you do see it though, shoot me an email, theo@barcraft.net.nz. Break time. See you in just a moment.